Hi, I'm Carolyn, and I'm the safety trainer for the Qualcomms with Atlantic Trucking. When you get started with your Qualcomm, your first-time driver, you want to make sure that you have this plastic card, instructional card, in your truck. This is for DOT to be able to understand the information that your Qualcomm provides. If you don't have this in your truck, they will write you up. You also need to make sure you have your logbook in your truck, a backup logbook, in case your electronics log goes down. DOT will also write you up if you don't have this in your truck. Okay, we use the MCP50 as our electronic logs. When you first turn your truck on, this is what you'll see as the unit comes up. You want to make sure that you don't sign into your unit prior to starting your day. You don't want to go start your truck up, log into your unit, and then go talk to your friends. You want to make sure you're ready to do your pre-trip and get your day started, because when you first log into your system, it puts you on duty and your 14-hour clock then starts. So first you'll see your warning screen here. You can either hit the OK button here or hit your home screen. We're going to hit the OK button. And this is your home screen. Before you log into your system, you'll see the two bars here at the top that are lit up. You have your messaging bar and your driver login. As long as your truck is running, these two bars will always be accessible. If you need to message your dispatch or anything of that nature, you can go into the messaging tab. Before we do that, we'll go over a few things about the system. Down here, the little gears, you have your brightness and your volume. You want to make sure, especially if you're driving at night, that it's not too bright that you can't see out the window. You want to make sure the volume is turned up at least halfway or more so that you can hear the unit over your engine and over any kind of radio that you might have running. Because about an hour before you go into violation, the system will start warning you. So you want to make sure you can hear that. This little question mark down here, this is some information about the system itself. So if you want to find out anything that the system can do, you can read up through here. This is your home screen, so when you're into any of the other tabs here and you want to get back to the starting point, you just hit your home screen tab. Now the difference between the Qualcomm system and a tablet or a smartphone is when you touch in a box and your cursor is blinking, the keyboard does not automatically show up. You have to bring it down and then put it back away. Okay? You do so just by touching the buttons of the keyboard. Alright, we're going to go ahead and log in. The login for your unit will be your driver code. Okay? Your driver code for both your ID and your password. Alright, so we're going to bring down our keyboard. The login for this one is dummy. Make our keyboard go away. And you always want to make sure the green dot is next to the word active. Okay? If it's next to the word inactive, your logs will not be current in the system. They will show up in our system but not in yours. So if DOT needs to see your logs, they will not be current and you will get in trouble. Alright, so everything looks good. We're going to hit the OK button. You're going to give it a minute and an hourglass will show up. Give it another minute. Your screen will change and first you'll see your driver code. You wait a minute or so and then your name will be spelled out. Always wait for your name to be spelled out before you move on. I know it seems like forever, but it takes just a minute. Okay, see how it's changed? The name is spelled out. We make sure it says active, your name is spelled out, and then you see the date and time. Okay, this means you're now successfully logged into your system. We're going to go back to the home screen, and now you see you have two additional bars that are lit up. At this point, you're logged into your system, it has put you on duty. So now you would get out of your truck, you would perform your pre-trip so that it is capturing all of the on-duty time that is appropriate for the pre-trip that you're doing. Once you get finished with your pre-trip and get back into your vehicle, you're going to hit on the Vehicle Inspection tab. This screen will come up. This is for the truck itself. You're going to list if you see any defects or not. We're going to say yes, we do see a defect, and there's problems with the lights. Okay? You would select anything that you did see problems with, even if you have fixed it. You want to note it. Okay, we're going to hit next page. In this box here, you'd bring down your keyboard and you would type up anything you see wrong. Even if it was loose wiring that you fixed, a light that you replaced, reflective tape that you put on, anything of that nature. You want to make sure that you document it, because later on down the road, if you get stopped by DOT and they catch something, you want to make sure it's something you did pay attention to in your pre-trip. Okay, you would type in any information here, and then down here you would put your truck number. Okay, we're not going to do any of that. We're cancel out of it. Okay. You would also do the same thing for your trailer. You would hit yes or no. If you hit no, the only thing you have to put on the next page is just your trailer, your number. So that's what we'll do with this one. We'll say no, we saw no defects. We'll hit next page. And now it's asking for a trailer ID. This trailer ID is going to be your chassis number. We don't want it to be your box number, because the box doesn't have wheels, it doesn't have brakes, it doesn't have lights. That chassis does. Okay? We're going to go ahead and cancel out of that. Okay, so that's how you would do your inspections. We're going to go back to our home screen here, and we're going to look at messaging real quick. If you need to send a message to anyone, or if your dispatcher sends a message to you, it's like email. It's going to come in through your inbox. Anything that you've sent out will go out through your outbox. And anything that you want to just compose, that you want to start the email for, you're not replying to an email, you would come to your compose button. These buttons here are pre-selected items. And the top one for freeform is just as if you're creating your own email. So you come up with a blank box, you would bring down your keyboard and type whatever you need to type. Once you're done, it would have the option to send, and it will go out to your terminal. I do see all of these emails, so if you need to use any kind of personal conveyance or anything of that issues, you had any issues with your logs throughout the night, anything like that that you needed to communicate with me, you would type it in here and I would see it in the morning. Okay, now the most important, your hours of service tab. Under the hours,
you have 7 hours and 27 minutes of remaining drive time.
Okay. It'll speak to you. And see, it's only giving you 7 hours and 27 minutes at this point. Originally, when you first sign in, you start off with 8 hours. Because within that first 8 hours, you need to take your 30-minute break. Once you take your 30-minute break, it gives you the remainder of your drive time. Okay, whatever you haven't used so far. Okay, on this page here, it's telling you your current status, what time it started, what time it is now, and how long it's been. It tells you if there's any exceptions, like a 16-hour rule, which we have none at this time. It tells you when you took your last 34-hour reset, and if you've run out of your 70 hours, it'll tell you the hours to be gained at midnight, and then the hours to be gained the following midnight. It also keeps your mileage for you, so no more mileage sheets to be turned in. That's one less thing you have to do, less paperwork. Okay? Also on this status page, this is where you would change your status. Okay? The only thing that you need to worry about is going to be your off-duty or your sleeper berth. Driving automatically kicks into drive when your tires start moving and your odometer changes. On duty, the minute you sign into the system, it puts you on duty, and the minute your wheels stop moving, it'll put you back on duty. Okay? So you just need to worry about putting yourself off duty, whether you're just going off duty or you're going into your sleeper. Okay? This is also the screen where you're going to put your remarks in. We're on duty, so this menu for on duty, we'll just hit that little blue arrow. You see how your menu comes up? We have pre-trip, fueling, traffic stop, accident, roadside, and you come on down and you have post-trip at the bottom. Make sure you're putting your pre-trip and your fueling in there, and if you get pulled over for roadside inspection, you make sure that's in there. We also like to see the loading and unloading in your post-trip, okay? So those are a must. Once you've done that, you would hit the OK button and it'll register it and we'll see it on our end. We're not going to do that right now. So this is your status page. Each status, so on duty has that drop-down menu. If you were off duty, it would have a different drop-down menu. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the Summary tab. This tab gives you a brief rundown of your day. So if you needed to see how much of your 8 hours you had left, or your 11, your 14, and your 70, this will give you that quick look. Okay, here's your graph. This is just as if you were drawing out your graph. It does it all for you. No more drawing pictures anymore. Your day log, it keeps all your information for you every time your status changes, where you were, how long it was, things of that nature, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. It takes that away from you. Now 8 days. This is the tab that you'll go to when DOT needs to see your logs. All you will do is hit your fax and email button. I prefer that you ask for their email address first, because this goes over to them in color. It's easy to read, and some of those colors are yellow, so when it's faxed over, they come out in gray tones and they're really light, and it makes it a little harder for the DOT officers to read it. So it's easier if you could get the email first. Okay, once you would type it in, then you would just hit request and it automatically sends it. Same for the fax number. You would put the fax number in and hit request, and it'll automatically send it to the officer. Okay, your Approve tab. At the end of your shift, you need to look over all your information, your load information, your graphs, everything. Make sure that you've got everything that you need in there and it looks good. Then you're going to hit Approve All. It's going to ask, are you sure you want to do this? You're going to say yes. And it wipes your slate clean. This is just as if you were signing off on your log. You check over everything and make sure it's good before you approve it. Okay? Then we have our Load tab. This is where you're going to put in your load history for every load. You start off with putting new load. You're going to enter in your load ID. This is going to be your trip number, your pro number, the bill of lading number, and your chassis number. Now if it's a trip where you're going to go up, drop, hook, and bring another trailer back under that same trip number, at this point you would hit OK. It would register your information. And then you would, when you have to add that second chassis in, this time around you would hit History. You would select that load, it would be listed, and then you would add that trip number under that second trailer. Or excuse me, that chassis number under that second trailer. Okay, and if it's not a drop and hook and you're just picking up a brand new trip number, you would hit New Load and enter all that information in. Okay.
You have 7 hours and 22 minutes of remaining drive time.
Now, when you're going to take your break, we're going to hit our change, we're going to hit our self off duty, and we're going to hit OK. Give it a minute, and it's going to put you in the off-duty status. At this point, you want to make sure when you're doing your 30-minute and your 10-hour breaks, and if you're trying to cut it just to that 30 minutes, set a timer on your phone. Write down the time you've logged out, especially for your 10-hour. That way you know when you come back in that you've had more than 10 hours. 10 hours and 5 minutes, 31 or 32 minutes. Don't ever let the system tell you that you're good to go at that 30-minute mark. 9 times out of 10, it's really at a 29.5 minute or 29 minutes and 15 seconds. And when you start rolling, it'll kick you back to that 29-minute mark or that 9 hours and 59 minutes. And that rest of your day will be a violation. It'll make you take another break. So you wouldn't want to take 10 hours off duty and then have to take another 10 hours off duty because you clocked back in a minute too soon. Always make sure you set a timer or you write down the time. That way you're not coming back too early. Okay, I just want to see if there's anything else on here I'm forgetting to tell you. We also have performance monitoring on here that we can have on, and we can also have navigation turned on if you would like that. If you don't have a GPS and need one, just let us know and we will turn those systems on for you. This time up here is always showing how much time you have left before your next violation. Like I said, an hour prior to going in violation, the system will start warning you. It gives you 4 to 5 violations within the hour, so you have plenty of time to find a place to park and get off the road and stay legal. That's the reason we have these systems, is to keep you legal, to keep your logs accurate, and to help you. they really do simplify your life, and you can focus more on where you need to be and the right route that you need to take, and not did you log the last location that you just left, or did you forget to draw a line on your graph, or forget to put information on your log. It's all in there for you. Okay, now we're done with our day, so we've already put ourselves
You have
off duty.
7 hours and 19 minutes of remaining
So now
drive
we're safe.
time.
We've looked over all our information. We approved our log. We're ready to sign out for the night. So we go back to our home screen. We hit our driver login button. We hit log out. It tells us that we're going to be logged out, and we say okay. And give it a minute. And now you're back to just your 2 bars. Always make sure you put yourself off duty and that it shows that you're off duty before you log out of the system. If you just log out of the system, it will keep you on duty all night, so when you come back the next day, it'll tell you that you don't have any drive time available. That is correctable on your end. Your terminal should have printouts for you. If they don't, get with them. They can get with me if they don't have them. They go through, you have a printout for each one of these tabs, excuse me. Each one of the lit up tabs that I just explained to you, there's a printout, PowerPoint printout for each one to explain anything you need to do on there. And if you have any questions, you can always call us in safety, and we'll gladly help with anything we can, as long as it is between the hours of 8 and 5. I hope that you do well with your Qualcomm, and you enjoy driving with Atlanta Trucking.